Ladies and gents, hello and welcome. My name, of course, is Orbital, and this is Orbital Auto, the very best car manufacturer in town. As you can see, Environmental Features has just finished research, and we're going to be moving on to air conditioning, and that will unlock the last slot in this process, I do believe. Is it fit accessories? Fit lights, so that comes after fit control. No, hold on a minute. Fit cabin, fit windscreen. So that'll come in just after there. I don't actually want to do that. Okay, I take it all back. I don't really care about that too much. Let's instead research the heater, and let's instead also research a leather interior. I feel that we need to boost the sort of attractiveness of our cars up just a little bit. Although I do think that we're doing not too badly. Let's just let everything spawn in. Yeah, as I sort of talked about a little bit in the last episode, I want to make sure that we are, that we're cautious. We're slowly improving things as we go. And I did say that paint would be the next improvement that we're going to make. So, paint specialization. Sign me up. Let's add to queue. Also, speaking of stuff to add to the queue, I would very much like to try and unlock... Where is it? It's in processes, I suppose. Yep, factory expansion. That's absolutely something that I'm after. Administration and marketing. Yes, I do want to do that, but the way that works currently, I don't think is perhaps the best way to go about doing things. So yeah, we're not going to leave. We're not going to deal with that. Unfortunately, we can't research any car designs currently because we need to get the design bureaus or whatever they're called. Where is it? Body design. Here we go. This is the administration, and then we need body design. So we need to get that. Whoops, sound is up a little bit too loud. I just noticed. Yeah. So we need to get all that before we can start building more cars. But that's actually not a problem at all. If we do have any spare cash in this episode, and it looks to me like we're, we got a little bit of cash hanging around. Unfortunately, we've got quite a lot of mid-range sedans just waiting around. Wow, it looks like we sold a luxury car. That's pretty damned good, actually. In fact, let me rephrase that. That is absolutely incredible. That one car sale has really catapulted us. Forward. Yeah, pretty happy with that, actually. So that's kind of the goal, is that we want to try and bring the most expensive, the best features to the luxury range first, and perhaps the expensive range at the same time, and then we just sort of filter the features down through the vehicles. Fit lights. It seems that we need to rectify this with a little bit of a stockpile. Copy from slot, fit lights. There we go. It seems to only be lights that are a problem, presumably because there are so many that are needed per car, and the inbuilt stockpile doesn't really have an impact. I just noticed that the car alarm is now installed. Okay, apparently the car alarm is in the door, so that's not something that we can actually deal with right now, because I believe that is dealt with at the fit body stage. We do want to expand the fit body stage, but I've already talked about how we want to get paint specialization done before that. That is an absolute priority for us. Okay, so we got a heck of a lot of lights. That's cool. I'm presuming that our cars are selling not too badly. It looks like the budget edition is actually overtaking the regular old sedan edition. Over 50% uptime on our machines. Pretty darn happy with this. We'll take it. It's not too shabby, but we'll deal with that. I think that we probably want to. Some expensive cars do not have all of the required features. That's okay. It's okay. This stuff is gonna happen. It's just that our cars aren't supremely attractive, but that's okay. Air conditioning has gone into the car. That's a little bit annoying. I should have left a space for air conditioning over here. Is it after fit windscreen? We could actually change it up a little bit and fix that. You know, for that reason, that I might just actually add air conditioning back in. It's not in here. It's over here, isn't it? Driver airbag. Yeah, we can actually add that to the queue as well. Let's also add that to the queue. So that's being used in pretty much luxury cars at the moment. Yeah, pretty much all of these bits and bobs are being used in luxury cars. I don't know why I'm adding voice recognition. It's a big research commitment, but that's fine. We'll deal with that. That's okay. I do want to get more research labs, but unfortunately we can't at this current moment. But that's not too much of a problem whatsoever. As soon as we get the heater research, we're going to install that, and that is just going to become the brand new standard, really, for the luxury sedans. So let's stick it in 3 times speed, upgrade all existing slots, edit models, and I would like it to apply to the expensive edition and the luxe edition. There we go, just like that. Perfect. That's a budget edition. That's a budget edition as well. Yeah, that's fine. Honestly, I'm really happy with the way that things are going. It doesn't necessarily look like we're super profitable, but in actuality, I do actually think that that we are. We're selling a good couple of mid-range. We're selling a heck of a lot of budget cars. There really is nothing. Those budget cars have got absolutely nothing on them. So that's fine. Yeah, but I really just want to sort paint out. Paint really is an absolutely huge bottleneck for us currently. Leather interior. Can we perhaps prioritize paint? Okay, I'm not going to prioritize paint because I want to get the leather interior done. That'll be a nice upgrade for us that we can take advantage of. Yeah, this is becoming a little bit of a problem now. There we go, because we've got so much value tied up on the production line that I am a little bit concerned just about, you know, the fact that we've built so many chassis here. We've got so many cars just tied up. You know, that is money that is quite literally just sitting around, which doesn't fill me with a huge amount of confidence. Auto steer headlights, yep. Air conditioning, yeah. Okay, fine. This is cool. We've got this under control. I think that we're giving a good show. Unfortunately, yeah, we're gonna deal with this in just a second. High pressure nozzles, paint finish, polish paintwork, next gen compressors. Hold on a minute. Let me just check something just very briefly. Polish paintwork. Okay, so we need polish paintwork in order to speed things up a little bit. Is it worth researching it right now? That's the question. Is it here? I think it's here, yeah. Polish paintwork. Would be good, but I don't actually think that it's necessary currently. Anyway, let's start thinking about how we want to expand things. This is going to require a loan, unfortunately, but that's okay. That's okay. We can definitely do this. So that's a 5% interest. That's a 16% interest. Sorry, that's a 10% interest, and that's a 16% interest. I'm going to take this. The loan total that we've got, clearly we've progressed into the next tier because we've been given 3.7 million to play around with, which is quite nice because, in my mind, this loan is going to pretty much deal with the expansion of the paint section, and it might also help us fund the expansion into another zone, which would be very, very nice indeed, because we're going to have to start thinking about the zones that we want to expand to as we're looking for a little bit more factory space. So, without further ado, let's start zoning our painting stuff, probably up here. The way that painting works is a little bit more complex than that. That's pretty much a 1-to-1 ratio of everything there. However, a paint undercoat takes 4 seconds, a dry undercoat takes 12, so we basically need 1 paint undercoat to every 3 dry undercoats, and then we need pretty much 1 paint finish, and I imagine, yeah, pretty much to every 3 dry finishes over there. So, let's look at getting that sorted. So what I would think that we need to do, let's think about this in terms of the best way to do this. We need to get three of these bad boys. So we'd be looking at the way that I did this. I've done this a couple of times before. The way that I did this last time was like this, and then I did dry undercoats like this. Right? So we basically have a system that gives us, yeah, so 3 out that way, and then we can do sort of 3 out this way. Now roll with me here a second. Yeah, and then that'll allow us to get a second paint undercoat. Yep. That's pretty much an optimal solution. It's not perfect, but it's not half bad. So the cars will come in here, they'll go up here for this one, and they'll come out here, and they'll go in here, up here, around here. Yeah, perfect. Okay, grand. Let's start thinking about paint finish. Paint finish, I guess we could probably just roll with a pretty much exact copy of what we've got here. Yeah, again, it's perhaps not the prettiest, but I think it actually works. Works pretty well. There we go. I will take that any day of the week, actually. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll take that. So, let's bring that out here. Put that up there. And let's just sort out all of this. Again, I'm not really intending this to be a super long-term answer to our problems, really. It's just going to be, you know, it's going to be the situation until we have, you know, the vast amount of our factory unlocked. Because, of course, when we have a whole bunch more sections of our factory unlocked, then we can look at really sort of shaking things up in terms of how we produce things. But for now, I think that we can be pretty darned happy with this. So, you're going to come up there. That's kind of what I wanted anyway. Cool. And that there. So, let's bring this across here. And now we need to put this back into the fit engine assembly section. That's totally fine because I anticipated that. And I'm going to be doing so accordingly. There we go. And let's bring this down over here. And then we can pretty much just drag this all the way along here, and that will pretty much work. I think anyway. That will remain to be seen. However, it should be fine. Anyway, speaking of fine, let's also, whilst we're dealing with this. Oh, I've completely forgot that we've got more research facilities up here. What am I even doing? There's no reason why this shouldn't be completely filled out. Speaking of completely filled out, it's probably about time that we try and completely fill out our power production area. So let's just try and get a couple more power plants all around here. As I say, this is a, you know, it's a pretty big investment, I suppose. But yeah, there we go. So that pretty much supplies 100% of our power, which is exactly what we're after. That means that we're, you know, bringing down our costs, which is always lovely. I do love bringing down costs. You need to be connected up, and apart from that, everything's pretty much set up to work perfectly. We might start to struggle a little bit over here in terms of getting the paint through as well. Yeah, I think we actually might. So let's get rid of you, and then let's connect this side of things up to that conveyor. Yeah, and then that means that we don't need to worry about paint over here. Perfect. Are we seeing any vehicles come through? Yep, we're seeing a good number of vehicles come through. That's quite nice. Nice to see. Of course, the way that it's set up currently will not be suitable because we need to get conveyors that come all the way across here so the cars can actually access the area. I think we'll keep these things in place for now until we've sort of worked off the backlog, so to speak. But my oh my, that is a heck of a lot of cars. Can we pay back our loan, by the way? I do actually want to pay back this loan. And I'll talk about why right now, is because if we pay back this loan, right, this is like a tier 1 loan or whatever. That basically means, or to me it means that that we can't actually get that much money, you know? I mean, if you look at the loan difference, right, you can clearly see it's different. So if we repay this loan right now, then that means that we'll be offered probably a bigger loan in the future. Not to mention the fact that it just gets it off our books, which is kind of nice. We don't need to deal with it. We did need to pay a little bit of a penalty, but that's okay. That's a price I'm completely willing to pay. We should manage to crack through these undercoats with a great deal of haste. And we shouldn't have any import problems at all, actually. Slight problem here. That has now been rectified. Yeah, this is looking rather nice, actually. I don't know if any cars have actually traveled from the dry finish section to the fit engine section, but we'll certainly watch as perhaps they do. Yep, imports all look fine. Nothing too crazy. The amount of vehicles that we're actually processing is very much working. Pretty happy with the way that that is happening. Looks like all of these are just about finished. As they're finished, we're going to retire them. Yeah, I mean, in terms of, do you have to go all the way to the end? Yeah, I don't think these guys can actually get up this direction. So that will need to be rectified. However, that's not going to be the most difficult thing to do. As I say, as these guys are finished, we're going to retire them. So I'll take that out of there, just to make sure that we're not getting any more traffic that's just going to stick around and wait. You know, because what I'm very conscious of is that I don't want to, you know, delete tiles that already have a car on. Because if you do, then I believe that they disappear, and I'm super conscious of the fact that, you know, if we let a car disappear, then we could potentially be seeing, you know, we could potentially be waving goodbye to, you know, 100,000, 150,000 bucks of money, of profit, actually, of pure profit. Speaking of pure profit, I want to get a couple more power plants just to make sure that our power consumption is absolutely fulfilled. This is looking good. This is looking very, very good. Yeah, okay, so you can actually get up there. That's good. I thought these crossy things only meant that people could only cross them. They can't actually move up them, but apparently that's completely nonsense. Okay, yeah, it seems that we've worked off... There we go. It seems that we've worked off all of these paint machines. We'll get rid of them. There's no real reason to keep them around. I would rather have the extra space. Space is a really, really valuable commodity, truthfully. Oops, there we go. You're almost done. As soon as you've moved out, then we can get rid of that. We've also got to bear in mind that if we were to keep these paint machines around, then that would present us with the problem in terms of they would enter the sort of belt in a weird way, which would mean that rather than stacking across that way, they'd stack up. I guess that's not really something that really matters, but I guess perhaps it could be. Anyway, this is looking pretty good. We've got 78 cars in the showroom. How are we doing in terms of market analysis? Yeah, we're pretty much selling off everything that we need to sell. What are we currently working on? We're currently working on factory expansion. That's why it's taking such a long time. Also, we're in 1x speed, which is why it's taking such a long time. But apart from the fact that, this everything seems to be going pretty darn well. Like I'm somewhat surprised, actually. And by somewhat surprised, I mean I think I'm very surprised. We've not been offered another loan yet, so we need to keep an eye out for another loan, but that will for sure be coming along shortly. So in terms of the next section that we want to expand, I'm not really sure, because I mean we've got a pretty good setup over here that seems to be dealing with all of the demand possible. Speaking of demand, did we get that aircon researched? Air conditioning is one of the next things to be researched. That's fine. Yeah. So in terms of the way that everything flows, it's sort of working, you know? It is just sort of working. The paint section has now been completely transformed. Everything looks absolutely perfect. There's also a lot of mileage in the paint system. There's a lot of belt in the system, which is actually kind of good because it means that you can store vehicles on the belt if needs be, which means that you're constantly having the cars, or the machines do something. A whole bunch of machines that are currently running. It looks about, what, 45% to me, 50%, maybe 50, 60, 55, 60%, something like that. I'm pretty happy with that, honestly. Of course, the waiting for the next slot section has actually, I think it's reduced. I think the only place where waiting for next slot should be occurring is here, maybe? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's there. I mean, that's still a little bit of an annoyance, but it is what it is. I'll take it. Anyway, in terms of the next piece of research that we beeline for, I feel that the fit body would potentially be an idea. We're gonna let's do air conditioning first. Let's do air conditioning first. Air conditioning first. I always forget where air conditioning is. It's a complete annoyance. Research now. There we go. Yeah, in terms of the next stage, I'm not quite sure. I feel that I want to do fit body. It would be a lot easier to do fit engine because chances are we'll be able to fit the entire fit engine process into here and perhaps in here because of course we can actually buy stuff now, which is of course, or we can buy expansions, which is kind of nice. So this area will probably certainly be the fit engine section. So that's something to consider. The fit body section, I think, is going to have to, not the fit body section. Sorry, yeah, in fact, sorry, yes, the fit body section. Fit body section is going to be in here because the fit body section is the most complicated of all of the processes. It really is very, very complicated. The chassis assembly, I don't actually think that that's a really complex process. I really just think that, fit body really is the most complex of processes. And it takes a hell of a long time as well. It takes 28 minutes and 40 something seconds. Can we get extra robots for this, by the way? I don't remember if I can get them. No, you can't get extra robots for this because apparently they don't use robots. Yeah, there you go. The more you know, eh? Anyway, ladies and gents, on that educational note, I am going to wrap this episode up. We're going to call it a day here at Orbital Auto, and we're going to jump into the next episode next time. And fingers crossed, we're going to be dealing with probably the fit engine stuff, I would imagine. I don't think we really want to delve too deep into the whole fit body side of things yet. However, we are going to have to get there one day, and it's just a matter of time. Ladies and gents, thank you very, very much for watching. My name, of course, has been Orbital Potato. This has been Production Line. I'll see you next time. Bye.